Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The swastika. Ah yes, the most infamous logo rebrand in history. Imagine taking a peaceful, ancient symbol from Buddhism and Hinduism, a literal icon of luck and well-being, and deciding, yeah, let's spin it 45 degrees and make it about world domination and mass murder. It's like stealing the smiley face emoji and turning it into the international sign for I kick puppies. Psychologically, the Nazis knew exactly what they were doing. Humans love symmetry. Our brains find perfectly balanced shapes comforting, like how you can stare at a snowflake or a perfectly sliced pizza and feel strangely calm. The swastika's sharp lines and rotational symmetry tapped into that. It was designed to stick in your head, even if you wanted it gone. And when you repeat a symbol enough, especially on flags, armbands, and giant stadium banners, your brain starts to link it to authority, or, in this case, extreme authoritarian cosplay. And yes, Hitler himself obsessed over its exact proportion. The man micromanaged a symbol like it was the last sour gummy in the bag. That's how you end up with a shape that's now banned in multiple countries. Basically, the swastika is the OG example of one person ruins it for everyone else. Number 7. The SS Totenkopf. Picture this, a skull and crossbones, but make it fashion. The SS Toten Cop, or Death's Head, was slapped on black uniform, hats, and badges, because nothing says approachable government like dressing your police force as goth pirates. The skull motif wasn't new. It had been used in Prussian military regiments long before. But the Nazis weaponized it as a psychological tool. Why? Because fear branding works. A skull instantly triggers our survival instincts. Your caveman brain sees one and goes, ah, death is near. Maybe don't mess with them. Add the SS's shiny black uniforms. Thanks, Hugo Boss. Yes, that Hugo Boss. And you've got an outfit that practically screams, your day just got worse. On a psychological level, the Totenkopf symbol created an us versus them barrier. It told both enemies and regular citizens that the SS wasn't just another army division. They were elite, untouchable, and totally fine with killing you. It's intimidation marketing at its finest. Or worst, depending on how you feel about genocide. Fun fact, today, the Totenkopf is still used by certain military units around the world, because apparently, history class is optional. Number 6. The Black Sun. Imagine a mandala designed by someone who's really into astrology, Norse mythology, and conspiracy theories, and also happens to be a Nazi. The Black Sun, or Schwarze Sonne, looks like 12 jagged rays spinning out of a central circle, kind of like a spiky pizza, if that pizza wanted to lecture you about racial purity. This wasn't actually a widely recognized symbol during the war. Instead, it was carved into the marble floor of Wewelsburg Castle, the SS's very own headquarters/occult fan club. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS and part-time wizard wannabe, was obsessed with the idea that ancient Aryans had magical powers, and the Black Sun was basically his Hogwarts crest. Psychologically, symbols like this tap into the human brain's love for mysterious, ancient-looking designs. Even if you don't know what it means, you feel like it's important. It whispers, I hold forbidden knowledge, which is exactly the vibe the SS was going for. They wanted recruits to believe they were part of an ancient, mystical brotherhood, not just a war crime factory in matching hats. Ironically, the Black Sun has had a weird afterlife. It's still used by neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and the occasional fantasy novelist who somehow misses the memo. If you see it tattooed on someone, there's about a 90% chance they're either deeply into esoteric fascism or they really misunderstood their local tattoo artist. Number 5. The Eagle of the Reich. Here's the thing about eagles. They've been a favorite mascot for empires since forever. Rome had them. The United States has one. Heck, even Mexico's flag features one eating a snake. But the Nazis? They took the eagle and made it the avian equivalent of a death glare. The Reichsadler, or imperial eagle, was a stylized bird clutching, you guessed it, a swastika in its talons. The message was crystal clear. We are strong. We dominate from above. And we hold the symbol of our ideology like a bird holding lunch. On a subconscious level, the human brain reads big, symmetrical birds as powerful and commanding. The Nazis paired that primal recognition with their central emblem, basically fusing nature's apex predator with our terrifying political brand. There were two main versions, one for the Nazi Party, with the eagle facing right, and one for the government, facing left. Why two? Because when you're running a totalitarian regime, you can make your bird face any way you want. To the average citizen, Seeing that eagle looming on buildings, coins, and documents was like a constant reminder that the Reich was everywhere, watching from above. It's Big Brother meets Big Bird, except this bird absolutely wants you. Number 4. The Wolfsangel. If the swastika is the most famous Nazi symbol, the Wolfsangel is the one that feels like it belongs in a heavy metal album cover. It looks like a weird, angular Z with hooks at the end. Part rune, part fishing gear, part, I tried to draw lightning but failed. Historically, the Wolfsangel was a medieval symbol supposedly used as a wolf trap. Because nothing says powerful empire like borrowing your branding from pest control, the Nazis repurposed it as an emblem for various units, including the infamous Waffen SS division, and it eventually became associated with far-right movements across Europe. Psychologically, its jagged, sharp shape plays into the same brain wiring that makes us wary of spikes, teeth, or knives. It's an instinctive warning sign. Sharp thing equals danger. The Wolfsangel carried that visual aggression without even needing words, which is perfect when your audience ranges from soldiers to rural villagers who might not be up for a political essay. The Wolfsangel was also linked to an idea of independence and defiance in German folklore. The Nazis twisted that into defiance against everyone who isn't us. Ironically, after the war, it became so tainted that in Germany displaying it can get you into legal trouble, unless it's in a history book, or presumably, on the world's most awkward antique wall clock. Number 3. The blood flag. This one's less of a design and more of a cursed piece of fabric. The Blutfahne was a swastika flag supposedly stained with the blood of Nazis killed during the failed beer hall putsch in 1923, which was basically Hitler's attempt to overthrow the government before he figured out elections could be rigged in his favor. After that fiasco, the Nazis treated the flag like a holy relic. During major rallies, it was brought out and used to consecrate other swastika flags by touching them, which is one of the rare moments in history where the phrase, blood transfusion, applies to fabric. The whole ceremony was designed to create a sense of mystical connection, turning regular mass-produced flags into symbols of sacred struggle. From a psychological perspective, it was genius manipulation. Humans are wired to give special meaning to objects connected with sacrifice or suffering. Combine that with ritual, uniforms, and the intoxicating power of a crowd, and you've got yourself a cult-like atmosphere that makes people forget you're literally just waving dyed cotton around. The blood flag was last seen in 1944, and its fate remains a mystery. It's probably in some hidden vault, or being used as the world's most historically awkward tablecloth. Number 2. The Sig Rune. If you've ever seen the SS logo, you've already met the Sig Rune. Those two jagged lightning bolt shapes that make the whole thing look like it's about to drop the most evil EDM album ever. The design came from the ancient runic alphabet, where the Sowilo rune represented the sun, victory, or life force. Naturally, the Nazis thought, perfect, let's use that for our secret police death squad. The double Sig Rune became the symbol of the Schutzstaffel, SS, and it was plastered on everything from uniforms to banners to rings. Why? Because repetition drills a symbol into your brain faster than a TikTok trend. The sharp, angular design was easy to recognize from a distance, and psychologically, sharpness equals aggression. You don't have to understand runes to feel like those lines mean business. The SS loved the runes' connection to ancient Germanic myths, because it fit perfectly into their bizarre pseudo-historical narrative that they were the direct heirs to some mystical warrior. Himmler even encouraged SS officers to think of themselves as knights in a modern-day Teutonic order, which is cute if you forget the part where their quests mostly involved committing atrocity. After the war, the Sig Rune became so infamous that in Germany it's illegal to display it in most contexts. Which makes sense. When your symbol is basically shorthand for I'm a fascist, you don't get to wear it ironically. Number 1. The Iron Cross. Rebranded. The Iron Cross was not originally a Nazi creation. It started in 1813 as a Prussian military decoration. Think of it as the German equivalent of the Medal of Honor, except in the shape of a cross with flared edges. By the time the Nazis came to power, it was already a respected military, so naturally they slapped a swastika in the middle and called it their own. From a propaganda standpoint, this was brilliant. It fused the prestige of German military history with the branding of the Nazi regime. Awarding soldiers an Iron Cross with a swastika sent two messages at once. You're a hero of Germany's proud past, and you're part of our glorious future. Future here meaning, please invade Poland. Psychologically, people attach themselves to symbols of honor and bravery, especially when those symbols are tied to family history. The Nazis hijacked that emotional connection and rewired it to serve their ideology. It's basically emotional theft, but instead of stealing your lunch money, They're stealing your sense of national pride. Today, the Iron Cross, minus the swastika, is still used by the German military, proving that you can salvage a symbol, but only if you surgically remove the Nazi branding, like scraping mold off an otherwise good loaf of bread.